That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost me and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on, with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, same old, same old, every single day, without the truth. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second series.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
Hello everyone. I know I'm a little late, you know, I've been sitting here fiddling about, as you do on a Saturday morning. But anyway, it's good to be here, good to see you all. There's a film, and I seen it years ago, and our Francine phoned me up late last night after the show. I did last night. And thanks for last night. It was a brilliant show last night. Trying to put things right for the world. It really was good. Great comments. Wonderful comments. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, the likes of... I always remember Tolstoy, you know, a quote by him. He said, history would be a wonderful thing if it was true. So what he's saying there is, you know, people are giving you that while it's untrue, like what's being regurgitated to us every day. And I think that's a flying quote, you know, by Tolstoy. I love Tolstoy, Leo Tolstoy. Anyway, what have you been up to, Simon? I loved walking in the deer hunter. Hang on. Oh, sorry there. Good morning, Don Franco and everyone in chat. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. I'm going shopping after this. Francine's coming for me. I used to trolley as a Zimmer. Anyway, Simon says, I've been doing my homework. Did you know that Christopher Walken, at the age of 16, worked as an assistant lion tamer? No. In a traveling circus. Go away. That's great. I like Walken, actually. Good actor. Good actor. But there's something fishy about him. Albeit he's a great actor and whatever. And he knows what happened to that beautiful girl, Natalie Wood. And he won't fucking say. That's another story. And Simon, I love walking in the deer hunter, Pulp Fiction, Catch Me If You Can, but most notably, alas, gone under the radar is portrayals in Macbeth, Hamlet, and Coriolanus. Do you know Macbeth is the greatest play ever written? I love Macbeth. I've seen some great play Macbeth. unbelievable greats. I remember Hamlet went down to, brought all my students down to Stratford to see Kenneth Branagh playing Hamlet. Brilliant. But up here in Liverpool, at St George's Hall, I see the best of the best, in my opinion, playing Hamlet. What a production. In our hall, St George's Hall. And that was none other than Alan Rickman. And I'm sitting there, you sit around and he's standing just there in front of me. And he's staring up at his mother and his stepdad. And he's looking. He doesn't blink or anything. And I'm looking at him like that, as the play's going on. He's just staring at me. Oh, wow. One of the best performances I've ever seen, live performances. I've seen one local lad, I think is one of the greatest actors. Even Stephen Graham said he's the greatest actor to come out of Liverpool. And I seen him playing Mephistopheles. And he was mesmerising. And that was up at the Everyman Theatre. And his name was, became a friend of mine. Andrew Schofield. Fantastic. But that surprised me about Christopher Walken playing the likes of Macbeth, Hamlet and Coriolanus. I've seen Jeremy Irons play Coriolanus in Coriolanus. Loved the theatre years ago. Edward. Edward, I've done that. Or I'm about to do it. What you said, beautiful, thank you. Oh, that's taking it off my shoulder. Or shoulders. Thank you. You'll be mentioned in dispatches, as they say. Thank you. Beautiful. Simon says Edward, Walken was good in True Romance. Yeah, Walken's a great. He played a gangster in New York. I forget the title. He comes out of jail. Ruthless in it. Ruthless. Forget the title. Could have been the King of New York, but I always get mixed up with, titles about New York. And Mickey Rourke, I think he played the Pope of New York. And that was brilliant. That was when he had a face. That's when he was young. That's before he went nuts. Mickey Rourke. Great actor, but just went nuts. I Frank and everyone like and Frank like and subscribe. Says Chris, thank you, Christopher. You're still at work? It's always working. And Ezra says Johnny Depp is good and Donnie Brasco. Yes. True story. True story. You get the likes of these actors. I tell you, I always remember Christopher Reeve, and he was in an interview, and he said, I've got a little head here. Christopher Reeves, you know, they were talking about acting and, you know, these places that they go to. Still got me pajamas on. So, and he was in an interview, you know, about going to academies, going there, you know, learning the trade of acting and whatever, you know, these schools and colleges and drama places. And he said, I wanted to learn to act, he said. And I went over to London and got a job as a tea-boy in the National Theatre. He said, and that's where I learned to act, just looking at those on the stage. There's no better place, he said, watching those, the National Theatre. It's all Macbeth, isn't it? You know, it's you know all the usual Shakespeare stuff. I love Othello. I love that play, but Macbeth just smashes everything. Everything. I'm not just talking about Shakespeare, you know. I'm talking about everything. Greatest story ever told. Out, damn spot. That's Lady Macbeth, because she just sees us as out, a spot. Out, damn spot. Yet, this is the murder of Duncan. Yeah, her husband. He looks, and he's looking at his hands, and he says, all the seas of Neptune cannot wash away this evil deed. And that's, you know, you can see the actual, what Lady Macbeth says. For the murder of Duncan, out, damn spot. And yet, all the seas of Neptune cannot wash away this evil deed, the blood on the hands. And yet she takes the little dot on it. My lord, the Queen is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word tomorrow, and tomorrow keeps in the petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools to wait and dusty dead. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. One of the greatest speeches ever. And the speech, I'll surprise you now, wasn't referring to what you think. It was referring to the gunpowder plotters. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. Because what you read, what your text is, the transcript from the trial is a load of bollocks. Robert Cecil did the transcript. He wanted no scribe to do that trial. No scribe, only him. So what you're actually reading is what he interprets, and he hated certain people, especially the people in the dock. So the poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. are the plotters, because no one had listened to them. Well, no one could read what they actually said. One man, as I said, Robert Cecil, there were no scribes in that courtroom, because it was Cecil who took all the confessions, after torture, by the way, on the rack and everything else. So, did they do it? If you torture someone, you're going to, oh, yeah, okay. It's not like today, where police can frame you. You only got to look at the other day, the girl, that the cops teamed up on a girl and accused her of murder. I knew from the off, I've been following that for 2.5 years. Then there was a mistrial. And then they got the witnesses that weren't called by the police. They had to go out, the defense went out and found them. And then they were all, just brilliant, that last trial. And even the judge was biased as well. And the defense said, listen, before they went in, they said, listen, can we just have guilty or not guilty on the card? This is shocking, what they're going in with. They're going in with all kinds of crimes that, against. And she said no. Anyway, she was found not guilty of all the major things and all the corruption of the police. Now, they're not going to investigate. There was cops telling lies. They knew they were telling it, and they were found out. Will they get up? Will they be off for perjury? No. So it goes back now to, right back to the 1605 gunpowder plot. How corrupt it was. With the likes of that Robert Cecil, who wanted to rid of certain people. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them. And on that note, I'm sorry I just go off on the tangent. I'm awfully sorry. But it really pains me. It really does. To see injustice. We're seeing it today. Not that girl, Karen Reid, she's away now. I hope she fucking sues a lot of them. And which she will. A brother, like that fella's brother who was killed, sue. He'll be thrown out, a civil court, fuck off. I'm sorry, I didn't want to swear anymore, So you've got me swearing. But anyway. It was your fault. It's all yours. Christopher Walken. He knows something about that beautiful lady, Natalie Wood, and that fucking prick who's still alive. Nearly 100. Tell you who else was a horrible person in Hollywood? Kirk Douglas. Horrible him. He violated it. He violated Natalie. She was a young girl and he violated her. Natalie Wood's sister, Jackie. No, that's the other, I forget her name. Natalie Wood's sister wrote a book and she exposed him. Kirk Douglas. Never liked him. Never liked him. Horrible, horrible fucking bad. An actress went missing. Took her out, they were doing a film. And she just went missing, never been seen since. The last person to see her was Bert Douglas. Look at this, mate. Dicky Dick. Hi Frank, I'm amazed how much knowledge you have. Do you read a lot of books? What do you see? I read a lot of books. Over the years, studying, I've read books that I wouldn't recommend to anyone, but I had to. I think I've read every book in every literature book, every history book. See, to read history books, you've got to be careful. It's not like that Wikipedia. People can go on there and write anything, and you're supposed to believe it. So you've got to be very careful. But lots of things. It's like I had to go to the Bodleian Library down in Oxford. I had to get primary source. How do you think I know about Shakespeare? I'm being in that courtroom. And Cecil said, "I had no scribes." He didn't even know. He was just sitting there, taking everything. Shakespeare. Out brief candle. What does that mean? Your life is like that. Your life's gone. Life is but a walking shadow. What a lie. Because what have we said? True, you must have heard it loads of times. In the shadows. Like spies. In the shadows, they come out of the shadows and they have you. Life is but a walking shadow. You're being followed. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. And all that meaning history, all our yesterdays, history yesterday, like you and I now, yesterday's history. And this time tomorrow, you say, I was watching that thing, about the films. But that's history. This time tomorrow, what we're doing now. So all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. You know what that meant? Do you know what that is? The lighted fools. When you get the image of Guy Fawkes, where is he? You only get one image. What was he up to? And you see him in the cellars of Parliament, gunpowder behind him, with a torch and a lamp. Lighted fools. He's the lighted fool. The way to dusty death. Because what they were when they got captured, these people, they were put on a board, face down, not looking everwards, face down, looking towards hell, being dragged by a horse to their demise, to their execution. Hanged, drawn, and quartered. Think about that. They weren't like hanged and then just, no. They were just choked. They were choked and then taken down, thrown on a slab, a butcher's slab, and it was a butcher who chopped them up. But he'd chop an arm off first, from here, off, throw it into the bonfire behind him, then chop a right leg off, then cut him up and take his innards out and pulling the head over to look at their body parts being burnt before they died. Think about that. And I hope when you go to see Macbeth again, you'll think about that. It's not as clear cut as what you think. Fucking horrible. George said, "What a friggin' ball! I woke up to be blocked. Go away. To a blocked sink, which then, oh no, when I put the washing machine on, look, George, nothing worse, mate. You've got to, do you know what, honestly, there's a thing at the bottom of the, why am I doing that? At the bottom of a washing machine, you've got to take it out. It's like a filter. And you take all the crap, because when you wash, loads of fluff and things come off it. But it goes to there. The unfortunate thing is sometimes it gets into the sink, through that tube and into the sink and blocks the sink up. So sorry to hear that, George. So sorry, mate. That's big up, Frank. Hope you're well today, mate. Good backdrop here. Do you know what? I've seen that before. Now, one of the lads, Simon, he's mentioning about this fella. And Jason was watching me. And he's put it up. Clint. And Clint's on tonight. I was going through something. I was trying to find something. I don't watch terrestrial. But he had to try and find this thing called about cruises, and that, because I'm thinking of going on a cruise. Anyway, and I can't get it on. I can't see it. Anyway, but I seen like Clint Eastwood's on tonight on Channel 26. Channel 26 on terrestrial telly at 9 o'clock. I think it's the Enforcer. Clint, my mate. He's a tall fella, Like I was 5'11" until I started shrink. Just over 5'11". I never quite made the 6 foot. So you get measured, don't you, in your stocking feet. And I used to be over 6 foot. When platforms came out, everybody was. Yeah, thank you, Jazz. The backdrop's brilliant. Edward says, Brother Us is a good story. Jason, he's a great fella, knows me. He mentioned me on no, I knew this girl, Jason Isaacs. No, I knew this girl whose niece, this is in Canada, whose niece worked as a, makeup artist for the film and TV things. She was very good at her job. And she was talking to me. Nancy was talking to me, and she said, "There's an actor she's doing. She has to do makeup of him every day, and he's from Liverpool. I said, ask him, does he know me? She said, oh. I said, no, just tell your niece to ask if he knows me. And she got back there a couple of days later. He knows. He knows Frank. Because he does. And it's only through the lovely Eddie Klein, the old mate. I haven't seen Eddie for years. And we had dinner together. You know, like meal out once he was up. Not me, you know, with Eddie, you know, a few of us. Jason. What was the film with Clint and Burt Reynolds in? I think it was called Heat. There's two Heats, you know. There's one with them two in. And the other one was with Pacino and the other fella, De Niro. City Heat. I think it was City Heat. And the other one was just called Heat. So it was one of them, does. Simon says to, we'll be made up about Clint, the man with no name, Eastwood. Did you know he's skilled pianist composer? He composed music for several of his films, including Mystic River and $1 Million Baby. He's a jazz freak. I don't like jazz. Can't stand it. I never said that to him when I was chatting to him. I never said, I don't like, jazz. Oh, you would have hit me over the head with my teaspoon. Good morning, Frank. Just back from the shop and grabbed a cup of summer solstice with the legends, says Johan. Yeah, the longest day. It's the longest day today. The longest day. And from tomorrow, the nights start getting dark. I make these things up, can you? Simon. Frank, did you ever watch the film? Yes, true story. I know the real story about it, by the way. Monsignor Flaherty. Flaherty. During the, yeah. In Rome, yeah. It was mostly Jews. And what never gets mentioned in that, and some of my relatives were in the partisans in the Apennines, fighting the Germans. And they never get mentioned in the Scarlet and the Black. And they was helping the POWs, prisoners of war, whoever they were. And also, as you know, to the Jews. Tough man, O'Flaherty. Father O'Flaherty. Great film. True story. And Christopher Plummer's character, I forget the fella's name. Now, I used to remember, I'm not saying from the film, or from, what I've read. A German. And in jail, he really thought he was going to be chopped. But it was the likes of O'Flaherty who saved him from being chopped. And he became he converted to Catholicism. I do know that. And he just lived out his life then. He repented every single day. His actions. He was very lucky as well, you know, to be alive, because the partisans said we'll kill him. But they just said, okay. Oh, we won't get him. True that. Ali the Noose. Hello, Frank. Hello, Franco. Hope you're well, young man. Talking about your country last night on the current issues, Ali, and the corruption of the EU overturning. It wasn't just one election with cancelling it with George Espiau, but also Simeone. How could he not win that? So it was corruption. Absolutely. Absolute. 1,000,000% corruption. And that's what the EU is. They're corrupt and corrupting other countries. Shot. Yeah, Simon. It's as it was City. Yeah. As you say, Game of Thrones had the potential to be one of the best series, but the last few seasons were poor. I've never watched a minute of it, to be honest, Edward. I've got this fucking thing back already. Come in here. Rosary Maids, blessed by the Pope Francis II, for Frank. Now, Fielder said, don't swear. These are Rosary Maids if you don't swear. But he never mentioned not swearing. I never said I'd do it. Don't for me. When I was ill and give it to me. That's why I'm here now. And Johan says to Edward, Game of Thrones lost its charm when the showrunners deviated from the source material. Even George Martin said he would have wrapped it up in a different manner. And that's the reply. Right, there's a film, and as I said, our Francine phoned me last night, Cham. And I said, what are you watching? Old lady. She said, yesterday. I said, yesterday? I said, that rings a bell. She said, it's about a lad, no one knows about the Beatles. I said, oh, yeah, it's a cracker. An Indian lad on the subcontinent. She said, yeah. I said, it's brilliant. Very clever film. And you can get it on that Prime. I think it's Prime. Yesterday. If you haven't seen it, have a look at it. First class, very clever. It's about no one in the world knows about the Beatles. No one. And he's surprised, and he's just going around and, you know, like in school and college and whatever. And going, you know, the Beatles, you know, every day. But it's everywhere. The world. Oh, you want to see what happens? He's bringing out all the songs. They all think it's him. Get onto it. Please get onto it. Yesterday, it's called. Great title. Yesterday. All my troubles seems brilliant. Ali. And now, new president picked the same corrupt. Yeah, of course. Just corruption. I just found out that the new president's wife is manager of the Romanian car company. Yeah, Background is behind everything. Background, of course. But he's the puppet of Van der Leyen and Kaya Kallas and Annalena Baerbock. Shocking what they're doing, what they get up to. It's shocking, Ali, that I feel so sorry for it. With a corrupt president. Because money won't be going to you lot, it'll be going to the other lot. And the place called Ukraine. Yesterday, have you seen it? Lily Collins and John Lennon look alike at the, yeah, John Mason. Yeah. Oh, Mason, have you seen it, Edward? A friend of mine, Paul McDonough, he's not half like him, sings like him. Really, honestly, I got a photograph of him. I was out with him, you know. Well, let's see. Let's see. Just give me a minute. What is it? No. Never what I found. There's the top 100, and there's Melo. So, you know, the top 100 Merseysiders. I was looking for something. It's in the Echo. Alongside, who's by me? The picture there. I don't know who the lady is. But that's Davy Hickson. Davy Hickson. And that was a play I'd written. Powerful reminders of war's tragic toll. I was the only one in the country to write a play about the First World War, the anniversary, in 2014. And it was called Echoes of World War I. And they were the two actors, two very good actors. One of them's dead, Jake Abraham. Powerful reminders of war's tragic toll. City's great war stories to be retold. We've seen that. I'm just looking for John Lennon, friend of mine actually. There he is, and he sings like him. He sings like him, honestly. Well, enough of them. Daryl. Hey, Frankie. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Daryl. Thought you might have been on the thing last night. You know, putting in comments. Never seen you. Never seen you. Ali the Noose. Yeah, Zelensky bought an apartment for his mother in Khalifa, Dubai for 3.2 million of euros. Nothing there. They're not going to enjoy anything. I was talking about it last night. Zelensky's not going to enjoy anything. Not that Dubai's under threat as well. If this war escalates, there'll be nothing left of Dubai. Frank, have you seen Rocket Man about Ellen? No, I won't watch that. Honest, Edward. No. I don't like the actor, actually. He plays Elton John. Gone worse, honest. Do you know what I do? That? You know my eyelids itchy? Eyelids. Simon says, there are two kinds of people in the world, my friend. Those with a rope around the neck and those who do the cutting. And when you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's when he's in the trouble. And he goes, they gringo, just go through the water. Don't shoot. Don't talk. Just shoot. Brilliant. Great Clint. The Rocket Man is good, but Bohemian Rhapsody different level. See, they get Yanks in to play. And he fucking didn't look like him, did he? Old Stephen. Hello, anyway. Not for me. Sorry, went out, went on last night. The weather's given me an upset tummy. Oh, you're making sure that you're having nothing to eat, that's a bit dodgy. In this weather, it change, get bacteria manifesting. And foods and what you eat. Young Don Franco says looks like he was born to be a rock star, but followed his passion and became an oh. I wonder who you're talking. He was talking about Elton John. Well, yeah, there's a nice message for you there. Hiya, Johan. Our number one man from Daryl. And Daryl, they're both good, I think, says it. Right, I do films and whatever. And some of the films really, as I said, some terrible woke, and I won't watch them, wokey ones. So I've gone back to films that are good, not woke. And The Omen, for example, you can get it on the original Omen with Gregory the Peck. He's, great film, The Omen. Great film. And you can get that on YouTube. The Expecting is another, that's like a newish film. The Expecting. Yeah, about a girl having a baby. I tell you what I've started to watch, and I started to watch it last night, but I had to turn it off because I went to bed. And I think it's on BBC iPlayer. It just comes up. I don't fucking go into the BBC. So I thought, I said, well, I still pay a fucking license. Anyway, it was Scott of the Antarctic. Very heroic film. Scott of the Antarctic. I've got loads of them wipes, for your bins. I've got loads of them. Packets of them. Anyway, so I was watching that. And I've seen another one, which I'm going to watch. I think it's one of the best as well. I started to watch it, and I had to turn that off. In Which We Serve. It's a true story, by the way. Noel Coward. And there's a very young Dickie Darling Attenborough. Little chubby. Isn't it? But you see loads of stalwart actors, which I love looking at them. It's what, propaganda, obviously. In Which We Serve. Excuse me. It's like a out damn spot. Out damn spot. You'd always get something under the lens of you. Good morning, Frank and gang. Good morning. Good morning. Freedom journey. That's what we all need, is it? A freedom to journey. Anyway. These are getting on my nerves. I don't know what's happening. I've got to go and sort my cataracts out. I've got to, for something totally different than cataracts, I've got this week a phone consultation about me, about this side, left hand side. Yeah, all there. So I've got a phone consult. What they're going to tell me, I haven't a clue. I just hope they just say, we want you to come in on such a date and we'll start working on you. I'd love that. I just need to. Just need to get out. Really. Can't walk or anything. Need up going shopping to the supermarket. That's it. That's the exercise I get. A third film coming out soon called Henry's Credit Card is active. And Simon Patrick McNee Did you know, despite being known for his dapper attire, McNee was a member of a Buddhist cult? No. And even afterwards, often swam and played naked. That's all right. No harm in that. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing here. Big gun behind me. That's Zelensky, that. Zelensky's goes off that behind his head by the Azovs. Still has now today. Simon comes out with some waffles. I'll never look at Patrick McNee in the same day. Especially even Mrs. Steve, what was her name? Mrs. She's one of my favourite actors, actually. Diana Rigg. American Maids is another good one with Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise is a good actor, you know. But they try to ridicule him, don't they, because of his beliefs. Unfortunately. Know what I mean? But I like Cruise. I like his franchise as well of Mission Impossible. Simon Pegg. Ving Rams, whatever his fucking name is. Good, I just like. But I like Rebecca Ferguson, and she got killed in one. A body killed Rebecca. Simon, the very first thing you learn if you're a gentleman is that you never compare one woman to another. That's the way. That's the way of all death. Patrick McNee. No, you shouldn't compare. Oh, fucking hell. Stop that pain then. What you've got to think of as well, you shouldn't compare other people with other people. You know, everybody has a different trait, everybody. They all have different DNA too. And I'm talking about not family, I'm talking about friends. But there are some friends who can look at you and go, oh, great to see you, fantastic. And as soon as you walk away, I've experienced it. So-called friends. I seen one of them once. I was told about him, what he was saying. And it was see, I was walking down, and he was like, as he was coming close, I was in the middle of town. On Saturday, early afternoon, like about 9 o'clock or something, I was going to buy something to the in town. And he seen me there. And as I was going nearer and nearer, about 6 foot away, I went, fuck off. And he went, just walked past him. Lovely. It was lovely. Because they deserve it. Hate gossips. Hate them. Passion. Zelensky behind me. Tell you what, that big magnum there's behind Zelensky's head every single day. Telling you. And if the Azovs don't get him, the Russians will. But they want to put him on trial, public trial, for war crimes, what they've been up to. I've seen it. I've seen what they get up to. Shooting their own. Fella digging his own grave because he wanted to surrender. And they shot him. Think about that. Do you like Irish? Yeah, I love Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson, one of my favourite actors. Yeah, I do. The Guard. Brendan Gleeson. The commitments. Great actor. Great actors. How are you? Do you know I can't understand? You know, when you go on these podcasts and you know these fellas, or the journals, that Romano, Fabio, what's his name? Fabrizio, what's his name? Romano, anyway. Can't understand the fucking words he said. I tell you, let me talk about it. Oh, fuck off and say them off. I couldn't understand the words he said. Fabrizio. Johan. Say what you want about Cruz, but his dedication to it always, yes. Second, he continues shooting after splitting, yes. It's Shed, yeah. He's had broken. He does his own stunts. Have you seen that stunt he does? He goes over a fucking cliff on a motorbike. Obviously, he's got like a that, but that doesn't come into the equation, does it? And going train, you know, on them motorbikes in cities. I was honest. I used to always stream Italy. You know, I used to go to each city because I had the streams and just sit there and watch them. You know, the likes of Rome and Florence, Milan, everywhere. You know, major, and even somewhere like resorts as well. And I was watching Rome this day, but it was on a Sunday. I was sitting there, and it was a film. They had everything in place for the film. And I was like, oh, I wonder who that is. And it was Tom Cruise's. You know, I seen it. I forget what Mission Impossible it was. But that was the day I seen, because I seen the car. And even the car with the, you know, the camera on the back. So it must have been that. By the wedding cake, you know, this massive monument that was built. They call it the wedding cake, the Romans. Big white building. And who had it built was Mussolini, Il Duce, Benito. I want that built, okay, yeah, there's the designer built. And as I say, the Romans, you know, themselves call it the wedding cake. Do you know what? I was talking one, and I'm talking about adults here. And I was just talking, you know, about Rome and how the people are, you know, and I said, and the Romans are brilliant, you know, they're lovely people. I've got a few friends there, made a few friends. Now I'm talking to an adult, and he said, go away. Romans, are they still going? I said, what do you mean? He said, the Romans, you know. I said, are you talking about the Romans with the helmets on and that? And he said, yeah, are they still there? I never said anything, I just said, oh, fucking hell. The Romans, you really thought the Romans were still fucking going about? It was two-faced people, Frank. I've experienced. We all have. You're a very good person if you haven't. Freedom, a lot of good Irish actors. Yeah, says Edward to the Freedom. Colin Farrell is a good actor, says it. Yeah, great actor. Cillian Murphy is a brilliant modern Irish actor. Is it Cillian or Killian? Do you know the best actor to come out of Ireland? I love him. And he's an activist. I love Gleeson. Watch anything with him. Please watch Lake Placid with Brendan Gleeson. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cracking film. Lake Placid. Bridget Fonda. Oliver Platt. He's brilliant. But anyway, excuse me. What you call that? You know, the flavoured water. Great. Who's it talking about? He's a great actor. His name is, great activist. Liam Cunningham. Liam Cunningham. Have a look at The Vault with Liam Cunningham. Cracking film. Really good film with Freddie Highmore and Famke Janssen. I don't know why they have these fucking Americans in it, you know, playing the British. I know it's to sell to them, you know, the American market, but for fuck's sake. David Kelly was a great actor, says Simon. Loved him in Fawlty Towers. O'Reilly, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. He was in that Mrs. O'Sullivan one, where he's a chef, innit? And he's got fucking the one-arm chef. But that Fawlty Towers one, brilliant. Honestly, Frank, some people walk around with absolutely nothing between their ears. Are the Romans true? Honest? It's true. They really fucking thought that. It's like saying 1,000 years' time, someone will be mentioning Scousers, you know. Scousers still going. They're looking at us now. Keep calm. You're all like that. You're like you are. Cunningham is a legend for going Yeah, he did, didn't he? That surprised me, that. I told you he was an activist, didn't I? Do you know why, don't you? I'm going to do the area. Is it next week I'm doing them? Or the week after? I don't know when I'm doing it. And I always remember, and I'm going back years. I tell you how long I'm going back. No, I can't. But it was what John Lennon said. John Lennon said, you know, why are we still in Ireland? Give the Irish back. Look, it's Ireland. It's a sovereign state. That's John Lennon. And he said, what are we doing in there? God, blimey. Excuse me. He said, what are we doing in Gibraltar? He said, what are we doing there? Can anyone tell me? We just want a little stranglehold or something. And unfortunately, he died before the Malvinas. Could imagine what he was or what he was said. That's why he was taken out, Joe. He was taken out. But anyway, Liam Cunningham went back. I seen him in an interview years ago. He said, you know, even as one of your greats saying, why is an island all Ireland? Why do they want a piece of it? You know, he's talking about the British government. And it still applies today. But, you know, there is a big movement to unite Ireland. A big movement. But you do get obstacles, obviously. You get these bigots, unfortunately. Sorry about this. It's terrible. I'm talking about my condition. Can't do nothing about it, you know. I can't get any exercise and put loads of weight. But anyway, as I said, you know, the films, TV series. I tell you what I loved, Hello, but only the first series was once someone leaves, I won't watch it again. You know, they bring someone in to fill the gap. Like Dad's Army, once Walker died, that was there, I never watched it again. Hello. One of the girls left, a girl named Francesca Gonshaw. She don't know what happened to her. She fucking sacked or something to bring in some fucking lunatic, a girl. He was totally miscast, a little blonde one. Looked like that. And that was brilliant. Good news. Brilliant. Very clever. The accent and everything. Christopher says Gibraltar is the gateway to Africa. That's why they still want it. And money. Yeah, I understand that, Christopher, but that's long gone now. It's long gone. You know, anybody can sail over to, you know, go into the Med and go over to Morocco, Algeria, or anywhere. They've only got to go right down past the Bay of Biscay, Portugal, and go straight down. Forget the fucking turning into the Med and just go, and you're on the west coast of Africa. every part of it and just go straight down. You're on the tip of it. Africa, South Africa. It was a strategic thing for Nelson, but it even goes further than, I think it was 1622 when they first took over. No, he was always fucking mad. And do you know that there's still detente going over it now? They've been talking for years. They've been talking for years about it. About handing it over. So, now the people don't want to put it in. There's fucking people there, Spanish people, who want it, who were living in Gibraltar. But anyway, you know. And there's, you've only got to look at, you know, the British Empire. It's gone. Great Britain. Great has gone. It's been gone for years. Even Thatcher, do you ever remember her slogan when she said, I want to put great back into Britain? The great back into Britain. Never succeeded. I don't like colonialism. That's why I'm totally against these Americans today. He wants an imperialistic empire, this fella. America, not just him, all America. They want to control the world. But they came up with, this is why they wanted to try and, which is the most fucking ridiculous thing, to try and overthrow Putin by using Ukraine as a battering ram. The fortifications that they built over the years in Ukraine is incredible. And I'm talking about the Americans and NATO, the British, and the fortification. But they're getting blown up as we speak. Right? And they thought that they could persuade the ordinary people of Russia to go out and demonstrate. Backfired. To get rid of Vladimir Putin. They tried to do it in Georgia. It's what you call colour revolutions. They did it in 2014 with a coup d'etat in Kiev. They just succeeded now in Romania. Just regime, they're trying to do it now in Iran. Regime change. I always remember before they went into Iraq, and they were talking, I was just watching the news, they were talking to fellas in Washington, Iraqis. And they said, you know, the reporter said, the journal said, so are you looking forward, you know, if Saddam's overthrown, would you be willing to, like, as an exiled government, you know, to take over? And he went, yeah, sure I am. Excuse me. Hey, babe. No, I'll just finish now, but I've already got to throw my gear on. Nah, okay, I'll be ready. See you later, Bob. Ta-ra. Yeah, he went like that. Yeah, you know, I'm all ready. You know, I'm a fucking big American accent. I just went, oh, fuck off. And on that wonderful note, I just have to say thank you for joining me today, this morning. I've got to throw a shirt on. I've got to take my pajamas off and put a pair of trousers on and just go shopping with my daughter. I always forget things, you know, and our Francine's always rushing me. Hurry up, Dad. Got to be somewhere. Anyway. The attraction of power is addictive. And as we know from real life, it can be a disease, a horrific disease. Here you go. The attraction of power is addictive. And as we know from real life, it can be a disease, a horrific disease. That's what Liam Cunningham said. So listen very carefully. I shall say this only one. Brilliant. Listen, boys, I've got to get ready. Oh, fucking this, you know. Honest, it kills me. Me nostrils ear, cross ear. And if you want to join me on Monday for the history show, take care, Frank and Legends. Enjoy your weekend. Or see you Monday. Happy shopping, Frank. Thank you, Johan. Just have a great weekend. You know, there's no sun out at the moment, is there? Fucking cloudy. Why does it be cloudy here? I wanted some vitamin D on my stupid face. It doesn't. I might have to get a sunbed. No, I won't go that far on. Anyway, thanks for keeping me company. You're wonderful people. I really love you, honestly. And see you Monday. Just enjoy the weekend. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the warmth, in other words. Thank you. Ciao. Lunedi. Ci vediamo lunedì.